I used to think money was simple. Make some, save some, don't spend too much. But real life does not work that cleanly. Bills show up, fear shows up, and a lot of people feel behind before they even start. That is why this book hit me so hard. It says the problem is not just your budget, it is the story you were taught about money. That is a big shift, because if you think you are just bad with money, you feel shame. But if you see money as a mix of habits, fear, rules, and power, then you can actually do something about it. That is where this book gets useful fast. It does not just tell you to stop buying coffee, it asks why money feels heavy in the first place. And once you see that, the rest of your money life starts to make more sense. One of the strongest ideas in this book is that your money story shapes your choices. If you grew up hearing that money is rude to talk about, or that asking for more is greedy, or that investing is only for smart people, those ideas can run your life in the background, quietly. I think this is where the book becomes real. A lot of people are not making bad money choices because they do not care. They are making them because they feel fear or guilt every time money comes up. They avoid checking their bank app. They spend to feel better. They do not ask for help. They do not negotiate. Then they blame themselves. But here is the deeper point. Beliefs become behavior. If you want new results, you need a new script. Not a perfect script, just a better one. One that says, I can learn this. I can face this. I do not have to feel shame to get smarter. The next idea I really like is intentional spending. Not endless cutting, not fake perfection, just spending on purpose. That sounds small, but it changes everything. Most money advice tells people to stop buying joy. This book says, no, keep the joy. Just stop leaking money into things that do not matter to you. That is a huge difference. For me, this is one of those ideas that sounds simple until you try it. Then you see how much spending is tied to stress, boredom, or trying to feel in control. A better way is to ask 3 questions. What do I care about? What keeps draining my money? What can I cut without hurting my life? That is not punishment. That is clarity. And I love that this book does not act like you need a perfect budget to begin. It asks you to notice your money, not fear it. That is where real change starts. The book also makes a smart point about stability. Before big dreams, you need a base. That means dealing with debt, building a small emergency fund, and giving yourself room to breathe. I think a lot of people skip this part because it is not exciting. But this is the part that keeps life from falling apart when something goes wrong. You do not need a huge emergency fund to start. You need one small cushion, enough to handle a flat tire, a medical bill, a surprise. That little bit of safety changes how your brain feels every day. You stop living in panic. Then comes investing, and I like how this book makes it feel less scary. Saving is good, but cash sitting still loses ground over time. Investing helps money grow while you sleep. You do not need to be an expert. You need to start simple and stay long-term. That is the book's real message. Build safety, then build growth. What I take from this book is simple. Money is not just about being strict. It is about being free. When I look at the whole message, I see one clear path. Change the story, spend on purpose, earn more, build safety, and invest for the future. That is what makes this book stand out to me. It does not treat money like a cold math problem. It treats money like a life tool. And for people who feel stuck, that matters a lot. Because most people do not need more guilt. They need a plan they can actually follow. If I had to leave you with one line, it would be this. Money is not the goal. Freedom is. Money is what helps you get there. If you want more book ideas made simple, subscribe to the 5-Minute Shelf. And honestly, this is the kind of message I wish I had learned sooner.